Welcome back to the channel. Let's try to play some intermediate puzzles and see how this goes. So let's walk through the thought process of a chess player. So it's White's turn to play, and this is all about sacrifice. So this puzzle is all about sacrifice. Um, as I'm looking at the board here, I can see almost equal materials, both for white and black. But White Knight is not very active, but White has brought the fight down to Black's king side. So we are looking at a very possibly brilliant move for White. What could this be? Could possibly be the best move. So immediately I can see something. I don't know, so I'm just going to go through my thought process. Since we are all talking about sacrifice here, basically what's coming to my mind is, am I going to sack my queen or I'm going to sack my rook in this position? So if I think of sacking my queen, then I will think of how I can checkmate with the rook alone, which might be a little bit difficult. But if I sack my um rook instead, I think my queen can still do a lot. But I know that when I capture the knight with my rook on c6, the pawn is most likely going to take back because the king wants to keep supporting this queen here, because these are only supported by these two. So when I capture this, the king is not going to capture, is going to get captured by the pawn, and then I will need to do something. So immediately when I capture this, I know I've created this file. This file is now open for the queen. So I'm thinking of queen here check. So maybe if queen to e5 check. So if queen comes to defend, that's a fork, and I'm going to get a hold of this rook on g7, and then sacrifice winning a knight, and then when they capture back, I'm going to play this check, and then if they come here, I'll capture this another check. And so this basically, that is my thought process. So let's see how it goes here. That is actually the correct move. A check, and when the king moves, I capture the rook. So that's like a very nice puzzle there. So is there going to be another one here? So again, I'm looking at what could possibly be the best move. Immediately, right, just looking at this, I can see some things I can try in this particular position here. I know that if this pawn is not here on h3, it is a very easy checkmate for white, for black rather. So if this pawn is not here, then this is checkmate because the rook is already controlling the h file. But because this pawn is there, it means it's a little bit of challenge, and there's a lot of, there's a lot going on in terms of threatening this knight. So immediately I can see these two. If you want to checkmate, right, you need two or more pieces to deliver a checkmate typically. And then this is what is actually possible here. So if you have not watched our video on checkmate, you can click on the link above. You get to learn more about checkmate. So basically, I'm thinking of playing my queen here check. So if queen comes here check, the king is most likely going to move here, and then because there's no direct path between this bishop and the pawn here, the knight is there, so the bishop cannot help. And then I'm going to sack the rook check, and most likely going to get captured by this. Since my king is here, I'll deliver a checkmate on h2. So let's see how that goes. Check, king moves, check, pawn captures, and a checkmate here. So that's a very beautiful checkmate. So lastly, I'm going to play this third um puzzle here. So but before I play this last one, can you find the best move for white in this position? No, for black rather. Yes, so I think white is trying to deliver a checkmate for black, but then black is also having some possible moves here. Can you find it? I'm just going to give a little time before I solve this one. So if you think you can find the best move, um, or the sequence of moves that is going to force your opponent to checkmate. So basically, this is an example of like a Greek sacrifice, a Greek gift sacrifice, basically. Right, so you want to be able to sacrifice a very big piece, and then you find a way to win the game with this sacrifice basically. So looking at this position now, what is coming to my mind is, again, I'm going to sack my rook, and then when I capture, there is not immediate checkmate, but I know that this pawn is not there anymore. So one of the things you want to do whenever you are trying to like solve a puzzle is, especially when you see the position that it is all about, you know, a checkmate. You're about to checkmate. And that thing as a chess player is that you shouldn't give your opponent a chance to play any move whenever you are trying to checkmate. So you are trying to checkmate, every of your single move should be forced. You are forcing your opponent to do something. So you are forcing them to make a move. You are especially, and most times a forced move always come with a check. So when you check your opponent, you know that they don't have any other choice than to move the king. So it is the king they need to move, compared to you playing any random move, and then you give your opponent the chance to play something else, and they can use that opportunity to, like, at least salvage the situation. But if everything comes with a check, 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 your opponent will definitely need to move around, and then you deliver a checkmate. So this is one of the things I do whenever I'm like playing puzzles or whenever I'm playing my game, and I see that I've put a lot of pressure on my opponent. So here I'm going to play rook here check, and then I've been able to open up this diagonal, and you can see my bishop here. So my bishop can come in check, and then the king is going to come here, and then I'm going to bring this here check, and then I think that's checkmate, by the way. So this is check, and then this is checkmate. Can you see? So this is the different puzzles. Tomorrow we are going to look at how to read a chessboard. I hope you like this. Were you able to solve all of the puzzles? See you then. Bye.